This segment brought to you by Bob Schwartz Financial. Values, commitment, transparency.
Welcome to Around Kansas. I'm Jamie Bloom. Did you know there was once a thriving town in Kansas called Chico City? Pastor Steve Carrier tells us the story of how Chico City, once located in Dickinson County, battled to stay alive back in 1886, but ultimately disappeared from the map.
These two towns started developing at the same time in 1886. And all these farmers started bringing their products to different towns. And between 1886 and 1890, this town company had actually plotted the whole town. They had sold 100 plots of land for homes. They had built a depot. They had a post office, a livery stable, a hotel, a restaurant, a grain elevator. They had a newspaper.
They were pretty established then, really.
It was absolutely established. They were a full-blown little town. And the thing I feel like what happened was Gypsum was so religious-oriented, and Chico was so profit-oriented, secular, and there was a rivalry already as far as who was going to get a depot, that there was an animosity developed pretty quickly between 1886 and 1890 between these two towns. The farmers south of Gypsum would not take their grains to Chico, and Gypsum didn't have a depot. And so instead of they were warring for that depot, Chico had it. They would take their grains to Bavaria, which was quite a ways to the west, in opposition to taking it to the railroad that was in Chico. And they kept appealing to the railroad company, we want to have our own depot. We have more farmers in our area, and they began to sue. There was a whole series of lawsuits that took place between the railroad company and Gypsum, and then later on with Chico and the railroad station. There was a legal battle going on. There was a heated public debate going on in the paper. It was a very interesting period of time that was happening there. So again, the hub was which of these towns was going to have a depot. If the train didn't stop, you couldn't. The whole connection to your economy was that depot.
Yeah.
And the town that had been given the right to the depot was Chico. And so Chico had a depot. They had a stop on the train between let's say from Harrington on over to Salina. And Chico was the designated stop. It had contractually agreed with the railroad company between it and the Chico Town Company to have the train depot there. But with the growth of Gypsum, the size of it growing, the farmers to the south doing their business in Gypsum, and there was such a drag, or a draw, I should say, to that area from the railroad company that finally they had to buckle and to put up a depot in Gypsum. Well, when they put the depot in Gypsum, that rivaled Chico, and all of a sudden there was starting to be a drift more towards Gypsum than Chico. Then it became even more legal, because now Chico's survival in the thrall, and if they lose their depot, they lose their whole source of their income, and they're gone. And they know that, and then it becomes even more passionate in their discussion with the newspaper. Their legal battle intensifies against Gypsum, and finally Kip gets involved, and Kip says they want to have the depot. And so literally what happens is the railroad company decides they're going to put the depot in Kip and take it out of Chico. And in the middle of the night, they go in and take apart the depot and move it to Kip. And there's actually people arrested in the process because of what's happening. So the depot was moved from Chico to Kip, and now you had a depot in Gypsum, and you had one in Kip, and you had this city with all these platted streets. You had all these businesses, And all of a sudden, people began to dismantle everything they had and move to one or the other cities, or to Gypsum. And most of them moved to Gypsum. And literally, you can go on to Menor Road where the track used to be. The track is no longer there. So it's just a railroad bed. And you can go out there, and you can't find a thing that resembles, I mean, it's an alfalfa field and a milo field right now.
I'm Bob Schwartz, and I've devoted the last 43 years to helping Kansans reach their retirement goals and to protect the family farm. At Bob Schwartz Financial, we believe everyone should be able to live the retirement they've always dreamed of. Our team of professionals can help you create an efficient strategy using a variety of investment vehicles to help you address your financial needs and your concerns. Bob Schwartz Financial values commitment and transparency.